Hey, what's up everybody? Time for some more Back to the Future the game. So, we got a lot of things going on. We broke free of the crazy medical experiment thing. So now, game pause. Whoops, wrong button I guess. Want to click anything. Okay. Apparently I can't get out of the box. Any thoughts on this one? Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
He's not coming back, you know.
What are you talking about?
Emmett. Without me to guide him, he's almost useless. Before I found him, he was a miserable failure who never finished anything. But with me to inspire him, look at what we've built!
Whoa. Let's see. You inspired him to do bad things. He's capable of doing. Talk's real wife is much cooler than your. Let's just go through.
Yeah, you've inspired him, all right. Inspired him to turn Hill Valley into a bunch of uptight dorks.
I wouldn't expect a delinquent like you to understand.
Of course not.
You think you've inspired Doc? I'll have you know that without you, Emmett Brown is destined to build a time-traveling DeLorean and a flying time train.
Preposterous. Emmett couldn't even build a dog feeder without me to guide him.
Yeah, well, he did that, too. Not the only inspiration in Doc's life, you know. In my timeline, he married one of the sweetest women of the 19th century.
Sweetness. Blech. Emmett needs discipline to stay focused. He's so easily distracted.
Okay, Your Honor. Starting to get a little concerned here.
Time to go.
It worked! Ha ha! 1 second I'm in the present, the next I'm 6 months in the past. Amazing!
6 months? It took you 6 months to repair the time machine?
6 months, my family fortune, and a sketchy deal with a gang of Libyan nationals. But it was all worth it for this moment. Ha ha!
Emmett, don't do this. You need help.
Oh, blow it out of your exhaust port, dear. Now that I've escaped into the past, your pack of divorce lawyers can't... Martin, how long have you been waiting for me?
A couple of minutes, maybe?
That's curious. I set the repair time circuits to arrive only a couple of seconds after I left. Oh, well, I'm sure there's no need for concern. It's probably just a minor miscalibration on the time circuits. Here.
What's this?
Clothes for our trip. We can't have you traipsing around 1931 in that ridiculous outfit.
Wait, our trip?
You didn't think I was going to let you erase the worst mistake of my life without my help, did you?
Fine, leave.
As he's standing there. That's awesome.
I run
awesome.
this town.
Time circuit set for August 26, 1931. You ready to go, Your Honor?
Call me, Doc.
That's still cool. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, so what's next?
This is where I last saw him. You, teenage you. You were headed this way, arm in arm with Edna.
Luckily, my erstwhile wife was never the type to kiss on a first date. If we work fast and stay focused, we can see to it that our relationship never moves beyond the hand-holding stage. Well, will you look at that? The old town theater. I haven't thought about this place in years. The missus made me tear it down back in '71. Said the movies were corrupting the younger generation. It was all nonsense, of course. I spent countless evenings here in my youth, and it never turned me into a hoodlum. Say, remember Public Enemy? Why, you dirty rat, no good yellow-bellied stool. Never did manage to see Frankenstein, though.
You're going to now.
But you're going to. That's what we're here for, remember?
Right, of course. The film that was supposed to set off a chain reaction in my imagination, inspire me with a notion that would launch my scientific career.
You've still got no memory of what that notion was?
How could I? It happened in the brain of a different Emmett Brown. An Emmett Brown now erased by the shifting sands of time. Luckily for us, I do know something about my own brain, having lived in it for the past 70+ years. Once we get my younger self re-inspired by that movie, nothing will distract him from his proper... Great Scott, will you look at that?
The town square?
It's just like I remember it, only dirtier. Oh, the old courthouse.
Come on now, Doc, you need to... Go inside and check it out. First rule of time travel, Doc, never allow your other self to catch sight of you. It can cause reality to collapse or something.
You mean?
Right behind you. Don't peek. Go on. I'll let you know when you're gone. And don't forget, you're Carl Sagan.
The billions and billions guy?
The suspected arsonist.
Huh?
Just go with it.
Okay, so let's go talk to this Emmett. Hey there, Emmett.
Sonny! You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
In 1986, in the dystopia you created,
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine!
Trust that first impression. Girls aren't everything, forget Edna.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, sure. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked the rocket car.
But,
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
social utility? Since when do you care about...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Emmett, I'm a little confused here. What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Crockett.
October 12th. Doc?
Ah, crap. We went to the wrong place. Well, so what else was happening October 12th that was important?
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Oh, worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna? Where can I find her?
Where do you think? I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
You were right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and...
Oh!
I'll talk to her. You better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All Car of the Future contestants need to report to the North Tent!
Why not? Good
Is
luck!
he seriously gonna go submit it to the show? That's awesome. Yeah, I guess that would work. Most people wouldn't really think too much of it at this point. Walking hurts. There we go.
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... oh, dear.
Mr. Crockett! You do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
Breaking up you and Emmett. Preventing a terrible future. Thwarting your crazy schemes.
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
Yes.
Yeah, just now, in the town square.
Oh, then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting?
Not
And to think
really.
he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
First impressions are telling, potentials and everything. Yeah,
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Well, I'm not your average girl.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Crockett, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
This is not working out. Let's see what we can do here.
I'm not sure if I've learned everything I can from Edna.
Well, okay. Well, that's cool. I can at least double-click her from a distance.
Ahem. You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Crockett. You know that? Well, his physical appearance, for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities...
Say, what's your game?
Just curious. Just trying to understand the female mind.
Here,
Well,
come on.
understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
Don't know. I guess.
Rather hard for me to picture Emmett as a chick magnet.
Chick magnet?
A guy who gets the girls, you know, motors running.
Motors?
Who makes them, you know.
You mean a chic?
Yeah.
Well, it's a matter of taste, I suppose, but when he's properly pomaded and decked out in my grandfather's white suit, Emmett just glows. Makes my heart flutter a bit just to picture him.
Uh-huh.
You say you know Emmett is a model citizen, but you don't know him as well as I do. Did you know he once cheated some Libyans out of plutonium?
Plutonium? What would Libyans want with plutonium? I'm sure he had a very good reason. Emmett's mind map demonstrates conclusively his brain is oriented toward virtue.
He stole a train.
This one time, to power one of his science experiments, Emmett hijacked a train.
Please, there hasn't been a train hijacking in Hill Valley since the days of Mad Dog Tannen.
Emmett's done a lot of shady things in his time. My vice principal warned me to stay away from him.
Your vice principal sounds like a dolt.
A little bit.
So you say Emmett only has eyes for you?
Absolutely. It's almost embarrassing how devoted he is to me.
Well, it's good to hear he's finally settling down.
Yes. Settling down?
You know, ready to stop playing the field, as it were.
Playing the... Oh, you're joking.
God damn it.
But I can't help feeling sorry for him.
Who?
All of Emmett's other girls, now that he's with you.
Please, I think I know Emmett by now. There are no other girls.
I wonder what's gonna happen to Emmett's little black book.
Little black book?
Oh, it's legendary. That's what enabled Emmett to become the, Valentino of Hill Valley High. Gee, I wonder if he'd let me have it.
You must think I'm pretty gullible, Mr. Crockett.
Maybe.
What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention! Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course! What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or, anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
Alright.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Ooh. Hi there.
Hey, Artie. You see my Oriole?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
Wait, what's going on here?
She gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
Poor Artie. Wonder what, what's her name, Trixie is up to. Let's see what Doc has to
Have you
say.
figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double-checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits...
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a test drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Makes sense.
Hey,
Sure.
no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Damn it, Doc, you're useless. I'm guessing we go talk to Trixie now. What the heck is she supposed to be?
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, aren't aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future?
Sure.
At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow, and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here.
Well, let's see what
So,
she's
who are you supposed to be?
Don't you know your Homer? I am Techni Muse of Progress. You can tell by the lightning bolts.
Must have slept through that class.
I'm supposed to be a goddess like. I'm the one who inspires all the great men who make the discoveries. And women too. Leave us not forget Madame Curie.
I never would. So, you work for the expo?
Yeah, ain't it a kick? I greet all the important guests, and on the final day, I get to bestow the golden sundial on the winning contestant.
Hooray!
Techni, Muse of Progress. Not a bad gig.
Artie got it for me. It's my entree into respectability.
Okay.
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
Then you see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Aww.
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techni, Muse of Progress.
Okay.
Look, my friend Emmett really needs help.
The one who's going out with Edna Strickland? You're darn right he needs help.
I'm not asking you to actually seduce him. Just make her think that you two have a thing going. It'll drive her crazy.
I guess it would.
So...
I wouldn't do that to another girl unless I was good and mad at her. And besides, it might tarnish my image as a muse.
Okay, so we gotta get those two ticked at each other. Makes sense.
So Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
How's Kid's trial going?
Slowly. You know what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but infinitely fine.
Except in Hill Valley, where they don't move at all.
What?
Nothing. It's just, you know, something I heard once. So no regrets about turning him in?
None at all. I should have known better than to take up with him in the first place. But what can I say? I was dumb. I let myself get taken in by his charm.
Charm?
Okay.
Whose idea was it to put a science and technology expo in Hill Valley?
Beats me. Artie says it's all bred in circuses. But I ain't seen a single clown yet today.
Yeah, you're probably not going to either.
See you, Trixie.
Okay.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
Right. So let's go cause some trouble.
Back
Hello.
again, Mr. Crockett? What can I help you with?
I was thinking. I found out about Trixie Trotter.
Yes?
Apparently they made her some sort of queen of the festival. Techni, the Muse of Progress.
They didn't. Well, they said this expo would give Hill Valley a reputation. I didn't realize this is what they meant.
What have you got against Trixie?
It's the idea of it. Allowing our city to be represented by a woman like that. I won't stand for it. As a socially conscious citizen, I demand you discharge that muse.
Trixie? What's wrong with her?
Oh, she's hardly qualified for an honorific post at a public event.
Look, lady, she fits the costume. She's an American citizen, and she managed to memorize all her lines. What more qualifications do you want?
Oh, these people are impossible.
Oh, this is great.
Why do you want to get Trixie fired?
One simply can't allow women like that to attain positions of respect in society. It creates a very bad precedent for the future.
Does it?
But try telling it to this poor sap. She's got him completely steamrolled. That's how they operate.
Is it?
Insane.
Still, I could get her discharged if I had the goods on her. No doubt a woman like that has left a trail of scandal, and I'd find it if I were still a reporter. But I haven't got time to do the legwork now. I'm too busy with Emmett and his invention.
Uh-huh.
So you wouldn't hesitate to get Trixie fired from her job?
If I had the goods on her. She's obviously got her employer completely bamboozled. The only...
Okay.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
I never noticed,
How about you? Have you got any questions for me?
No.
Then kindly let me pass.
I'm afraid I can't until I've located your registration form.
Oh, this is absurd!
Alright guys, this is a great stopping point. We'll be back with more on the next video. Thanks for watching.